Hey there, I'm Evangeline here at etrailer. Today we're taking a look at our Inno Roof Rack right here on our 2024 Ford F-150 with the SuperCrew cab. Now, I'll show you how to get this all installed later in this video, but first we're going to talk about this roof rack and discuss some things like the different size options that you may consider depending on what you need to carry and what you're looking for with a roof rack. On my previous car, I actually had an Inno Roof Rack because I love their design that much. They are a Japanese company, and you can really see that in the intentionality of their roof rack design. Now, we currently have the through feet version, which allows you to have this nice shiny end cap, which is arguably one of my favorite parts about this roof rack. You can get the longer bars with the 63-inch bars if you want a little bit more overhang, or stick with the 60s here if you still want that sleeker look. I also like how it sits on top of the roof. Like, you see this really good square angle to it where you feel like it's strong, it's sturdy, but it also isn't too much. So when we look at height, I like to measure from the top of the roof to the bottom of the crossbar, and this sits at about 3 inches, 2 3/4 inches, depending where you measure. And that's going to be on the medium to lower end for clearance. Be mindful of things that have large mounting brackets to double check that they do clear. The next measurement is going to be top of the roof to top of the bar. And this sits at around 4 inches. And that's going to be where your cargo sits. So if you are carrying something extra bulky, let's say skis with hull bindings, you want to double check that it does clear. If it doesn't, then you just go ahead and get a rack or a carrier that gives you that extra height. We have plenty of those options here at etrailer if you find that you need that. With these being aerodynamic bars, you have this tall top and a tapered end just to help guide wind on through, less wind noise and drag. Hidden inside the crossbar is this channel. So if you wanted to use T-track mounted accessories, you just take off the end caps and push the accessory on through, or you could just use your clamps around the bar, whichever works best for you. Pro tip, since you can't clamp around where the towers are, if you want to use the entire crossbar space for cargo, go ahead and use those T-track mounted accessories. Or check out the longer crossbars, where with overhang, you'll then be able to clamp onto the overhang. Those make it easier to reach too. You can carry pretty much anything on these bars. Your crossbar spread is from one bar to the other, center to center, 28 inches. Now, do double check things like roof baskets, ski and snowboard carriers. Sometimes they require very specific crossbar spread, but 28 inches is a very versatile number. All three components match very nicely with each other, from your crossbars to your tower system, and then your custom fit kit. This is custom made because these hooks are designed to work specifically with your truck. They are rubber coated so that you're not metal on metal scratching things up, but the hooks paired with the custom rubber pads make for your full fit on your F-150. And that's why it's important to use our fit guide here at etrailer. When you put your year, make, model of your truck and then you select your cab style, you'll then see all the different kits that have all those three components that perfectly match your truck. Now, Inno is awesome in the sense of they combine good design, good weight capacity, and all their locks and keys are included with this kit, all keyed alike. The downside is that sometimes if you want other accessories, you can't get those keyed alike like you can with the other more popular in-name brands. If you have any questions about that, maybe you're looking for a good recommendation, please feel free to reach out to us here at etrailer. We'd love to get you set up for the right roof rack for your adventures on your truck. But if the Inno Roof Rack is the one that really intrigued you, well, stick around for the install. Getting this all installed might seem a little daunting at first because you have a bunch of different small parts and different numbers, things like that. So I'm going to guide you through that process because once you know the trick to getting this together, you're going to have a really sturdy fit. So we're going to start with getting familiar with the crossbar. Your crossbar already has the rubber strip in it. There's really nothing you need to do other than make sure you know which one's the front. The tall end is going to be facing the front of the vehicle. The tapered end is going to be facing the back of the vehicle. And then when you flip it over, you're going to see this sliding tray here. So what we want to do is we want to move this tray all the way out until it sticks out like that. Because then we can grab our plates. You'll see that the plate will have a little notch at the end that will go from underneath the crossbar up into the tray. Let's see if we'll get to click, just like that. And now that that is flush, it will then be able to slide on through into the crossbar. And we're gonna go all the way through till the inside. Press this button, continue sliding until that plate is visible. And now you can grab your tower and fit that onto the plate. So your tower is gonna have a bolt in it, so that bolt will line up onto the threads of that plate. It'll sit in just like that. You're then going to use the included Allen key with your kit, and we're just going to turn this a couple times just so that we're barely threaded in. So once we're threaded and secure, which we actually are not, there we go. You can then press the back of the tower and then slide the tower out. So do this for all 4 towers. So where do you put the towers? Well, you're gonna then follow the instructions that are given with your kit. You're also gonna be given some stickers as well as some measuring tape, and this will help you mark which one's gonna be the front bar, which one's gonna be the rear bar. Now the good news is for the Ford F-150, your dimensions are gonna be exactly the same for front and rear, so you might not even need the stickers. At the center of the crossbar, there's going to be a marked middle point, and we're going to use that with our tape measure to go out to the half distance stated in the instructions. In our case, it's going to be 25.5 inches. So we're going to adjust both towers to that distance. Once you've set your distance, go ahead and tighten down with your included Allen key. Now we're going to get the rubber pads and we're going to put that on our towers. They're all the same number, so that should be helpful. These will just click into place. Notice the orientation of our pad here and do that for your towers too. Before you put the crossbar up onto your roof, let's plan out where it needs to go first. So in the instructions, you're going to have some numbers and they're all going to base off of this middle seam between the doors. In our case, for the front one, we're going to go 7 inches and 3/4 inch out, right over there. Now, you can also use those stickers given with your kit to mark that spot if you want. I like to use little masking tape because those are easy to take out. Lifting your roof rack up into the general direction across your roof. Since you have those rubber pads on there, that should help so that you don't have any contact of metal to the roof. We're going to move this to where we made our marks earlier. What we're looking for is for the pad to be touching both sides of our opening here. The bottom part will not touch all the way down, and that's good because we still want water to flow through this gap. And then once you've put all 4 towers in place, you're then going to keep their place by putting a hook on. So the hook fits over the tower and around your door. And then it's secured with your bolts. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hand tighten all 4 bolts, just enough where it touches the hook in place. You're then going to get your included torque tool, and we're going to tighten down our hooks. What I like to do is I like to tighten down one side only halfway first. I then go to the other side and tighten that down about 75%. So it's good to go back and forth as you secure these towers, just so you're not pulling the whole system one way to the other. As you tighten this down fully, since this is a torque tool, once you get to proper tension, it's going to click like that and prevent from over tightening. Cap this off by putting the end caps on. Now the end caps are funnily my favorite part of this whole system. Look at how nice and sleek they are. And then you have end caps for the towers as well. So these fit by securing in the bottom, and then you just swing this up, and then you turn the key to secure it. Now all 4 towers are going to be keyed alike. So what I do here is I just put one key in the glove box for emergencies, and the other key goes onto my key ring. And with that, that's it for your install. Here's a true test of if you've tightened down those hooks properly. You can hop down and slam the door on your roof rack because you've successfully installed your roof rack on your Ford F-150.